good to be in USEF, after many years. I used to be, used to go to USEF like you were doing 7 years ago. But the USEF office was in Tamil. When I planned to, I was trying to go to study in America. I used to go to USEF and get information about the universities and the colleges from there, and that's how I went to America and get my education. Okay, so today I will give a brief presentation about my activities in Nepal. So the title is Innovative Application of Wireless Networking in the Rural Areas. And this is not the only project I am involved with. I am involved with many other projects, so I will give just brief, brief introductions, information about this activity that I am involved with. So my involvement, I am actually social worker. I started, and I am also a social entrepreneur, turned social entrepreneur. And my involvement, there are many involvements in the rural areas. First, I am an educator, so I am involved in education programs in the rural areas. When I went to the rural areas, I found the need of health care. In the rural areas, there is a great need. So I am also involved in healthcare programs, income generating programs, to help people to make some money in their own village and create some jobs opportunity in the rural area. Also, I am involved in nature conservation activities. So we plant many trees every year. So today I would just like to do some brief information, provide some brief information about these projects that I am doing in Nepal, and also some of the vision that I still have. I have this vision for a long time, but that vision has not completed yet. So I will also talk about that. And this is my home village in Myagdi District, Nangi village. This is where I was born, and this is where I started my education. When I started my education, it was long time ago, and it was very remote area, and I did not, get any, textbook and pencils and papers, in the school until I was, in the 8th grade. So we just used to go to the school. There was something, a place like, there was a place called school. There was no textbook, The teachers were not, trained teachers. They were just some people from the villages who could teach something, So that's how I grew up. And after I, finished my, intermediate in science, ISC, I, become a teacher because, my, family background. I am from poor family background, and I did not have, my family did not have money to send me to the college. So, I become teachers, and after teaching for 12 years, I just, became able to go to the University of Nebraska. It's a long story. If you want to listen to this story, I can tell this story for one full day, I can spend. So, if you are interested, I can tell that story sometimes later, okay? Just let me know. I became able to go to this University of Nebraska. I was very lucky. I got a scholarship from there, and I went there and studied very hard. And this, Nebraska is a rural country, rural areas. It's the rural states of America. It's a farming state there. It's not like the East Coast or the West Coast. So the people, for me, it was very good place for my study, because most of the peoples are farmers there, rural areas. Like when you go to the rural areas outside Kathmandu, it is something like that. It's not exactly like that. But really, people are similar. They are farmers. Farmers are simple people. They work hard. They do farming. So that was very good, and the university, because of the scholarship I got from the university, I for the first time in my life actually, I became able to get very good education there. And I am still in touch with the people. Actually, tomorrow I am going there again to give a speech presentation. They have invited me. I go there once in a while. So after I graduated from there in 1993, I came back to Nepal. I did not have any idea what I could do. I just went to the village, and the first thing I did was, I helped people, the villagers there, to start a high school, because that was where I got my, middle school education, and there was no high school. So the people, the villagers asked me for help to start a high school. Starting a high school was not easy, because we need money to start a high school. But anyway, I started to work as a volunteer. We started the high school there. We started to work as a volunteer. Then, after that, I became involved with the communities and people, and see these activities there. So after we started the high school, and I started teaching as a volunteer teacher, because the school didn't have, the village didn't have money to hire many, more teachers. So I was teaching everything. And I was also, trying to do fundraising, some fundraising. So that's how I became. I got involved in, income producing programs. So that's the first thing I did after I went back. In the village, I helped people, with the villagers. We built a camping ground for the trekkers, with this facility. Because many trekkers used to trek in that area. There was no facilities for them. So, and we used to charge some money to them, and it was a good income. So I built some other, camping grounds like this in that area. Then I started yak farm. So after that, we tried everything, many things. I just want to show the slides that I tried. This is one thing. Yak farm. We started yak farm. We still have yak farm, big yak farm in the mountain. And cow and yak crossbreeding farm. For milk, cheese, fish, even fish. We started a fish farm, a small fish farm. Usually they raise, they have fish farm in the Tarai area, but in the mountain also we can, grow some fish. And paper making, handmade paper making, this beekeeping, jam making from plums, from the fruits that grow there, and handicraft making from paper. This is hemp and nettle, fiber, making clothes from those hemp and nettle. Training, and even health training. Whenever we got volunteers, foreign doctors or health workers as a volunteer in the village, we used to provide health training for the village health worker, because there was no health clinic and no doctors in the rural areas. So we trained these village women, provided some informal basic health training, and they started working as health workers. So in early 90s or before 2000, computers. Now computers are very cheap. You can find computers 15,000-20,000 rupees now. But during that time, it was very expensive There was no way we could, buy computers, in the market and introduce in the school. So what I did was I asked people, especially tourists coming from all over the world, from Australia, from America, from Europe, from Japan, Singapore, whoever I knew, I asked them to bring parts, computer parts in pieces, whatever, from old computer, not from a new computer, from old computer, and asked them to drop here in Tamil in a hotel. I gave a name of place, a hotel in Tamil, and they drop it there, and I used to collect those parts, computer parts in pieces, and then used to bring in the village and assemble them in wooden boxes like that. So this is an example. So we built. Actually, I taught the school teachers, the people, the students in the villages how to assemble a computer and install software and make it work. So we built many, actually, over 100, around 100 computers like this, and gave it to the schools, 2 or 3 computers in each schools. That is how I started, computer education in the rural village, rural area. So for the computer, we had to buy monitor, okay? Because I didn't ask the tourists to bring monitors. It was very difficult to do that. And, we bought monitors in Kathmandu, in Pokhara, and then they connected that to the assembled computer in wooden boxes. Those computer in the wooden boxes got very popular in media also, especially in BBC, ABC, it's got very popular. And that is how my project got introduced in the international media. So after we built the computer, we needed internet. We wanted to have internet in the computer, because computers without internet is not much helpful, right? So I wanted to bring internet, but it was not that easy to bring internet before 2000. There was internet in Pokhara. The nearest internet that was available was in Pokhara. There was a dial-up internet that time. So in order to get the dial-up internet, we had to have a telephone in the village, and there was no telephone in the village. So I tried to find ways to bring internet in the village, and when there was an article published in BBC Online News about this computers on wooden boxes. So I got many people interested to come to the village and help me to find ways to do that. So this is the first wireless equipment that we got. Actually, I asked some of my friends in America to send some wireless equipment, and this is a small router, like wireless router that you have seen you might have in your home also. So it's a small router, wireless router, and because that time it was not easy to bring in wireless equipment. The government had banned to bring and use all kinds of wireless equipments, in Nepal because of the insurgency. So I got some equipments like that, and then we had to build antennas. Antennas were not available. Just that the small router was not good enough to transmit the wireless the internet signals 40 miles, 40 kilometers far. It's just a small router that has range about 100 meter range. So with this equipment, we built several types of antennas and tested them, and we worked for about 1.5 years to find ways to make a long range, wireless link. So we finally found that this antenna is a TV antenna actually. This TV antenna is good to make a long range, network link, wireless link. So we built this, TV antenna. We modified something there and became able to build this first long range wireless link in 2002 May. That time all these communication engineers, expert patterns communication engineers were very surprised to know that, because nobody had thought that this is possible. It is possible to make this long range wireless network using this simple wireless device. Nobody had, no engineers in America, in Singapore, in Japan, believed that this was possible. But it worked. So that's how the wireless network was started. And these are the pictures of some of the volunteers who helped me to bring this wireless equipment, especially the computers, for me to Nepal. They used to hide everything in their backpack and just sneak through the custom at the airport and then bring it to the village. Okay. So most of them were college students that time in Europe, in America, from there. Now all of them are professionals working in university, working in big companies. So this is these are the pictures from that time. Slowly, when the first wireless network was built, then slowly we expanded the network to more villages. Some support started coming, from people who were interested to help. See the equipment now. We have, you can see the better antennas like that. Better antennas and the better equipments become available. So we became able to build a wireless network like this. So at that time, we did not, we just had, thought about, connecting maybe 4 or 5 villages to the network. We had no plan, we did not have any idea what other, purposes the wireless network could be used. We had no, plan to expand the network other than a couple of villages around my village, But once we got our village connected, once we connected, 2 or 3 more villages in that area, the word started spreading, So many people from many other villages, came to ask for help to get their village also connected. So step by step, we started connecting more and more villages in that region, in Myagdi area. Then we got requests from another district, neighboring district like Parbat and Paski and Mustang, like even in Mapanpur, Dolakha. So we started getting requests for help to connect their villages from many other districts. So slowly we expanded the network step by step. Now we are actually in 15 working in 15 districts of Nepal. We have connected over 160 villages in the remote pocket area, not whole district, but some pocket area, remote villages, where there are no other service providers, to provide the internet. So that's how we are working now, and still every year, we connect 10, 15, 20 villages And for most of this, program, this networking program, it's the villagers who raise money for that. We provide technical support. We don't do any fundraising. We have many students from universities, Kathmandu University, colleges here, as interns. We also get, students from abroad to work as an intern for the project. So, using this, volunteers, we are still working to connect, villages. This is the frequency. Uses of the network, in 2002 or 2001 or 2, when we started to build the wireless networking, our main goal was to use the wireless network for communication, because there was no mobile, no telephone in any villages of Nepal except the district headquarters. Only the district headquarters had telephone services that time. So our goal was to use the wireless network for communication purpose, using emails, using IP phone, that's the goal. But now the mobile network is expanding. The commercial operators are coming and they are building their mobile network in the rural areas also. Now you can have mobile services in many rural areas. So we change our focus. Now we are focusing on education and health. Those are the focus. Other thing, communication like email, internet, telephone, some e-business. Those are our secondary goal. But our main goal now is to use the wireless network for education in the community schools in rural areas, and also health. Because the reason we are focusing on health is because there are no hospitals in the rural areas. There are no doctors. So it costs money to bring the doctors and build hospitals in the rural areas. So if we connect a village to the internet, to the network, and connect them to some doctors in the rural areas, the doctors can provide some health services, some counseling, some training to the health worker. So that is how the villagers can also get some health service in the rural areas. And it does not cost that much money just to connect. What we need is just to have internet and a laptop with webcam. That's all it costs to provide some health services. So it is very helpful actually for the villagers. So we are focusing on those two areas now. Also education. So this is just an example of village health worker using the internet for telemedicine. Just a computer and a small webcam is needed. And whenever they have usually for minor problems, the villagers, the health worker in the village can treat. But if they have some major problems, health problem or some emergency, they can consult with the doctors. Also, it is very good, to train the health worker to build their capacity, using such kind of a network. The doctors don't have to go to the village, or they don't have to come to here to get training. So this is very useful. So that's our focus. Communication in the rural areas, the villagers, not only that, mostly the users of this, computers and the internet, are the young people, like you. But also, the older people are also interested to use the computer for, especially to talk on Skype with their, sons or daughters or relatives working somewhere, for communication, to read the news, online news, Kantipur, other Nepali newspapers. So that's how they are using it. So this is a very simple homepage for the local villages there, because most of these people, users are the farmers or these villagers who have very little education. So the website that we have created for them is very simple. It is not a fancy and websites like you use here for your education. Very simple. It is big icons there. So e-part, e-learning. This is a learning materials for the students, from second to 6th, 7th grade. So we are working with the Department of Education to create the content, educational content, and based on the textbook for the students in the rural areas in different subjects. Also, we have created e-library for the villagers. The e-library or whatever contents we develop, they have to be in Nepali language, because most of the people in the rural areas, they don't understand English language. So we are developing as many or collecting as many materials as possible in Nepali language for the students, for the farmers, for the health workers, like that. In training, we frequently run training. Whenever we get volunteers to go to the villages, we send them to the villages to provide computer training. Students like you, many people. Whenever you have holidays, whenever you have vacations, we also get some students studying in the Nepali students studying in Germany, in Europe, in America, in Australia. They want to go to work for some time in the village and provide some training. So it is good for them also and good for the villagers as well, because training is necessary. Continuous training is necessary for the villagers. This is a simple web application that we have developed to help people, villagers, to provide information about the products they have to sell. So that's it. So another thing that I am involved now for the last 4 years is also in tourism program. Before that, I showed you some of these camping grounds that I built. But for the last 4 years, I am also involved in building community trekking route. Community-based trekking route means the trekking route managed and owned by the communities. So during along this trekking route, we have built lodges, because the trekkers need lodges to stay. We have built lodges. Some places we have homestay facilities, and this is a new trekking route and run by the communities. And this will create some job opportunities for the villagers as well. We have porters, guides, the cook, lodge manager, everything from the villages. So this is a new trekking route, and we are promoting this. So these are the places, the lodges we have built for the trekkers to stay. And this is also Thamel Remit is a credit card transaction services. We are also working with some researchers who are working for climate change, for monitoring climate change. So these are the slides. We we also have connected, Nepal to Research and Education Network. Research and Education Network is a big network that has connected all the universities, all the research institutions around the world. So even in Nepal, some of these colleges here, you see here, they are connected to this network. So we are working with the government to connect these colleges to this research education. Once you are connected to this, research network, then you can do research, joint collaborative, activities with other universities around the world. Research and development works. We are also doing some R&D, research and development activities also, using the students like you from from the colleges, from Kathmandu University, from IT colleges here, some outside. This is building a surveillance system to monitor poachers in the national park. We are developing ECG machine, very simple ECG machine that will be useful for the rural clinics like the one I showed you. We are also developing tracking system. Whenever trackers go for tracking in the remote areas, we are developing a system to track them, to find them where they went. So it will be easier to search them if they get lost or something happens to them. So we are developing a system with the Nepal Tourism Board. So I am also exploring a new trekking route. Actually, new trekking route in Rukum, Rolpa, and western part of Baglung and Dolpa area as well. So those are some of the projects, and I have a big dream also. So because most of these right now I'm involved with most of these smaller projects like the wireless projects, like income generating projects, small R&D projects. I'm involved with that. So now I'm focusing myself on the bigger projects. The bigger project is to find ways to build an innovation center in Nepal. There is no innovation center in Nepal. The government has not given priority for the development of science, technology, and innovation in Nepal. That is why all of you are trying to go to abroad to look for some other opportunities. If there was opportunity here, to do something, I think some of you or many of you, could stay here in Nepal. So that is why the flow of this young people is going to abroad. So because there is no opportunity here, in order to create opportunities, in order to develop the economy of the country, in order to make Nepal a developed country, we need to do something to involve the human resources of the country. But in the 60 years history of Nepal, after the Rana regime was, after the Rana regime, in the last 63 years, no government has given priority for the development of science, technology, and innovation in Nepal. So that is why Nepal is still one of the poorest countries. That was the main reason. That's why I have we are working to find ways. I am not alone. We are working in a team to develop an innovation center, to use these talents and the creativity of the people of Nepal for economic development. But starting an innovation center is not easy. So our goal is to build the innovation center independent, without any interferences from the government, without any interferences from the donor agencies. Once you get money to build something, from somebody, they will have, some influence on it. So we want to make it, free and independent innovation center without relying on any financial support or any kind of support from any donor agencies or any government. How we can do that? Because it costs about at least about 10-20 crore rupees per year to run an innovation center. How can we find 10-20 crore rupees to build an innovation center? So we have come up with an idea. This is an idea after brainstorming for some time. The idea is to build a hydro project, 10 megawatt hydro power station, and sell the power to the government. So this is very rough estimate. If we can build a 10 megawatt hydro power station, it can bring at least $4 million income per year after paying all this operation and maintenance and other costs. $4 million. So if we give 25% of that $4 million and use 75% to pay the loan, pay the interest, pay the operation and maintenance cost, everything. So we still can have $1 million, which is about 8-9 crore rupees a year. So after we pay back all the loans and interest, everything, so in 6-7 years we can have more money. So that is what I am working now, and I am trying. We also have registered a company called Rashtriya Avishkar Kendra. It's a company, not for profit sharing company, and we have we are trying. We are working in a team to make this happen. But it is not easy, because in order to build a 10 megawatt hydropower, we need 1.5 Arab rupees. 1.5 billion rupees. However, where do we get that? It's a big dream. You can realize it, but it is not impossible. It can be possible. What we need now is about 40-45 crore rupees for we start the project. Because if we get 40-45 crore rupees, which is 30% of the total cost, that's called equity. The commercial banks can provide loan. So that's why we are asking the government to provide this 45 crore rupees as loan from the government. Or we are asking the government to put 45 crore rupees and become a partner for this project. Right? Once 45 crore rupees will be available, then this will happen. I think this is not impossible. So I am working on it with a team. I have team members who are financial experts, who are hydropower experts, who are scientists in the team. So this is a restaurant. I think if you are interested to listen my stories, my other stories, you can come here, and I can organize a talk program like this there in that restaurant. It's in Tamil. It's a Nepal connection. We have started a restaurant. It's a not for profit sharing restaurant also. It's not my restaurant. It's not a business for individuals. So we have started a restaurant called Nepal Connection in Pamya. This is right in near Kathmandu guest house. You can come there and organize programs, talk programs or any kind of programs there. This is also a meeting place, actually, meeting and idea sharing place. This is the website of the school. We have actually my professors in Nebraska. They have helped us to create a foundation called Himachal Education Foundation in Nebraska, and they are raising support for some of the projects that I am working now. And I also have this $1 a month program, asking people to support for the wireless networking projects. And last, this is my last slide, my suggestions. I want to give some suggestions to you. If we want to do something different for either for you, or for somebody, or for the communities, or for the country, you have to have a strong will. Even if you want to go to study in America, you have to have a strong will, and you have to act accordingly. I had a strong will to go to America. I did not have even money to buy my plane ticket when I got my visa in 1989 to go to America. After I got my visa, I had to ask my friends for help to buy my plane ticket. But you have to have a strong will. I did not have any money when I started all these projects that I showed you. Even the wireless networking projects, tourism projects, income generating projects. I start projects without any money, but with a strong will. You have to have that. And be a rebel. You have to be rebel, not a political rebel. You have to be rebel. At your age, I think at your age everybody is rebel. So, do things your way no matter what others say. When you want to do something, there are many people who want to, who will come to provide, suggestions or, something, arti upadesh Nepal. So, don't listen to them. Because most of in our culture, most of these arti and upadesh are not to help you to go to become something, but just to give to please you. Do not quit. Try and try and try. If you want to do something and if it doesn't work, do not quit. You have to try many times. Like this wireless networking project. We tried 1.5 years to make it work. Money. Do not worry for money. Money is something that will come. I don't care about money. I never cared about. I didn't have money actually all of my life. But money will come somehow from somewhere. You have to have good ideas. You have to work hard. You have to be persistent, and money will come. Awards and recognitions, like I have so many awards and so many recognitions, so many things hanging on my wall, my quarters. You don't have to look for that. It will come, and you don't be afraid to be called crazy. Because when you do something different, people will call you crazy, right? If they call you crazy, just don't listen to them, Work as a crazy. So those are some of these, suggestions that I can give based on my experience in my life. I think I need to raise my contact, email and mobile phone. You can contact me if you want to get information about anything. If you just want to come and have a cup of tea and talk to me on anything, I am open. Okay? You don't have to get any appointment because I am not minister, right? I am not any big leaders, or I am not any the CEO of any big companies. You don't have to get any appointment. You just have to call me, and if I get time, wherever we can meet in the street, we can talk. There I guess like that. So you can write me email if you have some questions. Even if you want even information about your plan to go to the US for study, or if you have some new idea that you want to share with me, you are welcome. Okay, just write me. So now I would like to take some time for question and answer. Okay.
So what are the changes that you felt after winning the Magsaysay Award?
What are the changes that
you felt after winning the Magsaysay Award?
After the Magsaysay, it has made some changes. Now at least people listen. After I got the Magsaysay Award, especially the people in the bureaucrats in the ministries, in the government, at least. So I don't have to wait for to meet them. Actually, right after this, I am going to visit the finance minister. I just can call them and okay, can I come? Okay, you can. So that's all. And also whenever I go in the rural areas, people listen because they think that I am a big man now. I am not. Okay.
What inspired you in the first place to do all the social and economic activities?
Like I said, after I came back from America in 1992, I did not have any plan. I did not know what I could do. So I just started to work in the village as a volunteer teacher in the high school. So after working, after 1 or 2 years, and staying in the rural areas, working with the people, ideas started coming. So many ideas started coming. So after ideas started coming, then I decided to stay here in Nepal and do something. So it was actually the need of the people in the rural areas, need of education, good education opportunities in the rural areas, need of health services in the rural areas, need of this communication in the rural areas, need of starting some job opportunities in the rural areas. Those are the things that inspired me to stay in Nepal. Actually, that made me. It was a need. Okay.
What was your study major at University of Nebraska?
What?
What was your study major at University of Nebraska?
Oh, I said after I got my ISC and I go to college and I become a teacher and got 12 years in this school. So I was a teacher. I'm a teacher. I teach whenever I get opportunity. I like to teach. So my background is education. So from the very beginning, when I went back. I went to America. Decided to study the education system there. But after I got my the scholarship there, I could study anything. So I studied so many things. I studied business. I studied computers. everything that I took. I used to take 18 credit, at least 18 credit hours in every semester because I did not have to pay any tuition fee. I studied, even in summer. They have summer schools during the summer vacation also. So I studied. I took full classes in summer vacation also. So I studied like, even if education was my main area of interest, I studied business.
What actually inspired you to work on this technological field? Like
I said need of communication, in the rural areas, because before 2000 or around 2000 or until this Maoist insurgency was over, there was no telephone services in the rural areas. There was no mobile. So it was very difficult to communicate with the people. When I was living in the mountain village, I had to come once in every month. At the end of the month, I used to come to Pokhara and stay there for 2-3 days, just to check my email and to reply email every month. I did that from 1995-6, until 2002, for almost 6 years, because there was nothing. So that is why I wanted to have, and also in order to I had started several income producing projects in different parts of the district. So I had to communicate with the people there. Without the means of communication, I had to walk, and it was not easy to walk. I got tired of that. So I wanted to build a communication system within the villages. That was our initial goal. So that's why our initial goal was just to connect at least 5-6 villages around that area. We had no idea. We had not planned to build wireless network all over Nepal at that time. Okay.
You could have gone to other countries for study, but you went to USA. Why you went for the USA?
Because in this that time, that was 1985, 86, 7. During that time, there were the main source of information to get the information about the colleges was the library. There was no internet. Right now, you can search about the universities and the colleges. You go to the Google and search it. But during that time, there was no facilities like that. So this USEF was in Tamil, and there was a British library in Kantipur, and there was a Russian library somewhere. I think somewhere I forgot now. So those libraries were the main source of information to find the information about the colleges and the universities. And that time USEF was the best place to find the information.
During the wireless project, while you were making ATNS, how did you manage the phone while experimenting? What?
I didn't get that last part.
While making the ATNS work, that you tried for 1.5 years, how did you manage the phone for that experiment?
Phone?
Yeah.
So we don't need a phone to do experiments. So not only wireless, I would say I'm serious about that. Like you see, this innovation center is $20 million project. So I am looking for $5-6 million to start the project. You don't need to have fun to start a project. You need to have idea, and you need to share that idea with as many people as you can. So the wireless networking project was the same thing. I just wanted to build a communication system in the village, So I shared my idea with people, and we did not look for money for that. We look for ideas. We look for people who can come and work with us. So that's something I can guarantee. Actually, you don't need money to start a project. You need to have good ideas, and you need to work hard. Okay.
So during the implementation of wireless technology, the you said that government had not allowed this kind of project. How do you overcome these problems?
Yes, the government has not allowed. Actually, I want to ask for permission to the government, and the government did not provide permission because it was illegal. They had actually banned to use any kind of wireless equipment. But we were working in Myagdi District in remote areas where the government had no access. That was how it was possible.
Have you thought of a place where you want to build that self-sustained university having 10 megawatt of hydropower and
No, that is still in brainstorming stage. Brainstorming stage, and we can finding a place is not difficult. Our focus now is on finding ways to build the 10 megawatt hydropower station. And there are so many rivers in Nepal, so we can choose any of those rivers and build this if we get money. Okay?
You advise us to work hard and then we'll overcome our failures. So what is your failure that you overcame, your biggest disappointment that you overcame in your long career? What was your biggest failure or biggest disappointment that you overcame in your long career? The biggest one.
Yeah.
Almost handed out.
Because I grew up in remote village. That time nobody from the village had gone to high school. So I was the first guy to go to high school. Then when I planned to go to study in America. Actually, I dreamed to go to study in America. I did not plan. I wanted to go to study in America without any money. Again, right? I didn't, like I said, I did not have money to buy my even plane ticket to go to America. I planned to go to America without any money. So I have failed so many times because I did not have money to do that. So there are so many times I have failed. But it took almost actually more than 2 years. I started communicating with the universities, corresponding with the universities in America, asking them for scholarship, telling them that I have no money. So, even after trying like 1.5 years, I did not get any response from the universities, and that was, of course, a time for disappointment. When I came back to Nepal and tried to start this income generating programs, tried to do that without any idea, we have failed many times. For example, making cheese. Nobody in the rural areas makes cheese. Well, we wanted to start that cheese making projects to make money for the village, but we had no idea how to make cheese. So we were in great loss for almost 3 years. People wanted to stop that project because we lost so much money in 3 years. There was disappointment. I'm trying to, my goal was to build, wireless, this broadband network all over Nepal. But I haven't been able to do that. So far, in the last 10 years, I have been able to connect over less than 200 villages. I am just disappointed, because I have not been able to do what I want to do. But I am still trying. So there are so many examples, so many instances, where I have failed, I have become disappointed, I have become frustrated when things does not work. I have become crazy. But the only thing, that is, making me to move is because, I don't quit. I try. If it one idea does not work, so I try other way. If this way doesn't work, try another way. If this way doesn't work, try another way. You have to try and try. Okay. There's maybe not much time left.
Any final questions for Dr.
Like I said, I am available whenever I am in Kathmandu. I am available. So you can, if you have time or you have questions, you can ask me later. You can ask me. In Tamil also, we have a place where we have a projector, we have a screen and a place for presentation. So I can give similar presentation there. You just have to. I sometimes post. Whenever I have some programs in Tamil, I post message in the Facebook. You can come. You can show up anytime. Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pun.